Hey guys, it's me, the famous image file, JPEG 2, the sequel. And today we're going to be looking at some Deviantart and critiquing it a bit. And before anyone says anything, yes, this is a Solar Sands style video, so yeah, thanks Solar Sands. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching it. This first piece is called Brony, and it's actually a Ed's World fan art if you couldn't tell, which I would say the line art looks pretty nice, and the colors are pretty good. The only thing is the fact that the lighting needs work. I can't really tell where it's coming from, and it just looks like you spread it all over their body. I mean, look at their hair, it kind of looks like they're aging up a bit. Also, I will say it does look a little bit like you used Gaussian blur for the lighting effect. I think the smudge tool can work pretty well with lighting and stuff. It's just when you use way too much of it. Because when you use too much of it, that's when it kind of gets a little messy and sloppy looking. This next one is actually toward fan art. Yeah. So yeah, I will say the art looks pretty okay. I would say not great, but mediocre. It does look really weird with a cartoon head on top of a realistic body. The legs also look very weird. They look more like a flat 2D object rather than a 3D one. I also feel like the line art is really shaky. I think it could use some work. That's not to say that the artwork is bad. In fact, it's rather mediocre. I think one thing you could do to improve the drawing is working on your line art skills a little bit more. Also, I would say to try to practice your foreshortening, because right now it kind of looks like Tord is breakdancing rather than sitting. This next piece of artwork is actually some Sonic fan art that I found that looked pretty cool. However, I will say there is one problem with it, the silhouette. And when I say silhouette, that's exactly what I mean. It's the shadow of a character you make. And making the shadow of your character more expressive can often lead to your character looking more expressive, and thus look a lot better, in my opinion. This character looks like it's ready to punch me in the face and boil me alive, so use the perspective to show me that, rather than just the character design itself. Here I would say their pose is kind of static, which I would say kind of detriments their character. And because of this pose, it also looks a little more cluttered in the center. I mean, just look at other Sonic characters. Their poses are a lot more spread out and much more expressive. Yes. Here is some Five Nights at Freddy's security breach artwork. This seems to be a drawing of Freddy Fazbear and Gregory. One critique I will have of the artwork is that Gregory and Freddy Fazbear's arms are very long. Now that I think about it, actually, Gregory's left arm is a lot longer than his right arm, and that Freddy's right leg is actually a bit thicker than his left leg. Also, what is Gregory covered in? Is he covered in grape sauce? Jam? Grape juice? Also, this might be nitpicky, but Freddy's hair is actually a different shade of brown than his body. It doesn't really make sense to me because Freddy's a bear and all of his hair color should be the same. One thing I think you could work on is proportions. If you worked on that, I think your artwork could look really good. The last one we'll be looking up today is the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared fan art. This one seems to be of Yellow Guy saying, "And I'm a yellow pig," in reference to the newer episodes that have been coming out recently. One immediate critique I have of this drawing is the fact that you use the vector circle tool. And while I'll say that this can be useful sometimes, it's not really great for making character heads. Also, the voice speech box is actually going behind the ear in the character. Typically when you're drawing a voice box, it goes over the scene and over pretty much any character. That way you can see what they're saying. I definitely think that the line art could use a little bit more work as it is messy in some areas. But other than that, I will say just spending more time drawing will help. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. I do not condone, sending hate to these artists. As a matter of fact, I recommend encouraging them 'cause, you know, when I was a kid, my art was shit, and encouragement really did help a lot, and it brought me to where I am today. I'm not saying my art is perfect, but I will say encouragement really did help me, and it made me go far. I truly think anyone can become a great artist if they really try. But on that note, I'll see you guys later.